end of an era. Welcome back to Theme Park Awesome, and in today's video I will be discussing all about the closed theme park Flambards, along with talking about the attraction, history, my thoughts, and the story behind the park. Or some of you might not know about Flambards, and it's probably the best time to make this video as there's a lot of crisis going on within the theme park community, such as cutbacks in Merlin, ride closures, for example Kindercar at Six Flags, and possible sales going on at the Sea Life Aquarium. Flambards is an amusement park, but it's also a well-known thing called a theme park, and it's in a small town, Helston in Cornwall. There's something for everyone, for all ages. There are 3 different zones. East side is more for the younger families, which includes a lot of kids rides, dinosaur walkthrough. West side is more for the older families, which includes a lot of the bigger rides like Skyforce, Skyraker, Thunderbolt and Thehornet. Along with the south part, the heart of the park, the museum, which includes an amazing Victorian village, Britain and the Blitz, and much more. There's also some other little bits in the park. For example, play areas for the kids, crazy golf, and an upcharged go-kart track. On 10th of June 1976, Flambards opened as an aviation museum and was owned by the Hell family from that year leading up to 2013. In 1979, the iconic Victorian Village opened to the public and has been loved here to this day. In 1984, Britain and the Blitz opened to the public and was opened by Dame Vera Lynn. In 1990, Flambards opened as an amusement park and was then named as the Flambards Experience, and over the next few decades it can continue to grow with its lineup of rides and attractions, especially ones that we all knew today. In 2010, Skyraker opened at the park, and the park name was named to Flambards Theme Park. During the season of 2012, Flambards was struggling. It was going through an administration, and in 2013 it was saved by a new company. I do apologise if I get this wrong, Livingston Leisure. Years between 2015 to 2023, a lot of rides are either being removed or replaced or rethemed. For example, the Jurassic Journey was rethemed from the former Rabbit's Tunnel, which I thought was very cool. The Sky Swinger replaced Extreme Force. The yellow tent with all the mirror stuff in was demolished and removed. And the balloon ride was moved from where Extreme Force used to be and all the way behind the museum building. And there was many more attractions as well. 2024 was a tough year for Flambards, as to start with, a lot of new rides came in which were mainly relevant to fairground rides like the Thunderdome Waltzer, the Dodgems and some kids rides. In June, Flambards announced that a number of their major attractions would be removed from the park, like Thunderbolt, the Thehornet, Sky Swinger. Skyforce managed to reopen eventually but then broke down again. Flambards reopened from July to the end of the season, but with cutback opening times, mainly opening weekends or in the holidays or half terms. On the 4th of November 2024, Flambards announced that it would be closing permanently after 48 years, and a number of the rides and attractions were up for sale. The museum at the time was under investigation with regarding the future. Then in February it was confirmed that a lot of the expeditions in when the Concorde was, Britain and the Blitz and the Victorian Village would be up for auction in late March, and they would be opening the museum to the public one last time while the auction is on. I grew up with Flambards, as my first trip was pre-2005 and I must have been around 2 or 3 years old, and my last trip to Flambards was in 2019, so I remember quite a lot from Flambards. I remember seeing the old aircraft parked in the car park years ago and playing in the old indoor play area as well. I also remember when Skyraker first opened, it was all over the news, seeing it operate in its first few months. I also remember the original rides as well, like Extreme Force, towering over the skyline, like next to the log flume, Cybercopter and the Hornet. The kids' mine train used to be right next to the go-karts, along with the old space race. They used to be there as well before that turned into the brand new play area that we all know today, before being moved to the green tent next to the kids' area. What I also remember as well, before Jurassic Journey came along, there used to be an old little museum in a tunnel based on some of the rabbit characters. I thought that was really cool and created a good atmosphere within the tunnel, seeing all those different rabbit characters, as I found that really cool. I remember seeing the little garden as well, just behind the tunnel before Jurassic Journey coming on in 2016. Over the years and in 2019, I went on so many different rides at Flambards within the two different areas, starting with Freddy's Funland. I didn't really do many of the kids' rides over the years, but I did a couple. I did Dino Express, which was just a general car ride you'd see at any other park. Also went on the Space Shuttle, which was very cool actually, as you went up and down in the seat with a lever. Good views of the area. It was also very unique for the families, but very shame that it's now gone. Also did Jurassic Journey as well. I quite liked that, seeing all the different dinosaurs outside, and I quite liked some of the smaller exhibits in the tunnel as well. Very cool. And I also liked the dino dig that you could do as well, mainly for the kids, but still good fun. Moving on to the thrilling zone now. I did a number of rides over there over the years. I went on the carousel and the rocking tugboat. They were both very basic family rides that you'd see at any other park. Skyforce was one of my favourites at the park. Thunderbart was a great addition to the park, especially being at one of the top thrill rides there. Even now you can easily get on that sort of ride at a fair circuit. Skyraker was a great drop tower. Some good views across Flambards actually, and the countryside, and a very decent cycle. At theme parks, I do like a good unique ride, and the Cybercopters was one of them. It was a great little ride. It's very similar to a monorail, but instead you manual the ride. But of course you have to be careful, otherwise you would have bumped into the one in front of you. Also went on Sky Swinger as well. That was a good ride as well, very similar to Monkey Swinger at Chesterton. But surprisingly, there was a few major rides that I never actually went on while I went to Flambards multiple times. I never went on the Log Flume, the Hornet, or Space Race. There's not just rides at Flambards, there's also an award-winning museum, and there's so much to look at. Firstly, there is a mixture of history including classic motorbikes, aircraft, Concorde, military, war, and Victorian wedding dresses. I really liked looking at the wedding dresses, especially being from the Victorian times. And not forgetting Concorde as well. I thought it was very cool seeing Concorde in the museum, even though you can see it at Brooklands Museum up in Surrey. And not forgetting Britain on the Blitz. Britain on the Blitz was a really good section of the museum as it was based on the Second World War and the Blitz streets. It was very cool seeing all the different details of the shops, houses, the bombs, buildings, some of the clothing as well during the 1940s and the jig as well. Everything related to that history decade. There was loads of different sound effects as well, like the air raid siren and the exploded effects as well, and the planes flying over. It was just a really good section of the museum. And last but not least, the Victorian village at Flambards. This was a real true experience your day at Flambards and a very immersive walkthrough. There was so much to look at within the village. For example, buildings, shops, houses, horse and cart, cobble street, products and so much more. The audio also made it magical when walking around the village. The Victorian village will be truly missed and remembered. That is the end of the video of Remembering Flambards. It is really sad that the park had to close last year. I felt that the legacy was ending anyway, but did the museum need to go to auction? Probably not, but we are in that direction now. I'm just grateful that we have got some good memories from Flambards. What's your thoughts about Flambards and closing? Do you have any memories? Or did you not go? Be sure to put your comments below. And what did you think of this video, by the way, guys? Be sure to like, subscribe for more future videos. And I'll see you in the next one.